That should be where we need to be. All right, so this one is called This is a Romance Manga. So let's see.
The new romance manga? Huh, this looks pretty interesting. What the heck? When I think of a good romance story, my mind always goes back to Love is War. In all aspects, it's pretty cliche. You have your likable characters, one you can relate to, and the other is a billionaire. However, what makes this manga stands out is the fact that they already like each other from the start, but instead of confessing their love, they try to psychoanalyze all of their actions in the hopes of hearing them say, I love you, or even better, calling their first name. Romance stories often introduce a gimmick to create interesting dynamics. Sometimes, it's pay to win, or maybe she's your sister. Coming back to this manga, Umeko-chan is in Love is a romance manga where you see from the perspective of an athletic boy named Oga. Naturally, girls fawn over him. But there's one thing about him that stands out. He's a complete pussy, which also explains why he doesn't have a girlfriend yet. The reason why he's terrified is because of a rumor going around that there's a high school girl that committed suicide in the school building. So after annoying his classmates, his friend finally gives in. As they walk, or more precisely, get a piggyback ride, his friend tried to calm him down, saying it's just water. But being gay is out of the question. Oga can't stop talking while doing his business, as that's the only way to calm him down. But it looks like there's nothing to worry after all. His life flashes before his eyes as he runs away. But it turns out to be just a normal high school girl. Her friend asked if she confessed to him yet. But as always, she didn't even get a chance to speak. Maybe smiling will work? Okay, maybe not. This traumatized him so much that he couldn't even get an ounce of sleep last night. I really couldn't believe that this is actually a romance manga. Well,
This is
Right.
this is a
So
weird
over
one.
here are
This is a weird romance manga, to be honest with you.
into
actually, when it comes to stories focusing on slice of life, especially in romance, there's usually a crucial component in terms of progressing the story. You know, speaking, take Love is War as an example. Sure, it may take like what, 200 chapters just to utter the words Daisuke? But at least you can see the natural progression of your relationship through their interactions. What happened just now is far from a conversation. Heck, they couldn't even make eye contact. It's interesting to say the least of how the story will develop from here on out. Then, on the following day, Oga is going to the bathroom as usual, and he lets his friend know just in case he goes missing one day. Maybe he's just overthinking. He dropped to the ground, thinking
Whoa.
that ghosts even appear in the morning. But then he noticed a crumpled up paper tossed near his feet. It's about time she communicated to him. Well, at least he got the message.
So bad.
The thing is, everybody in their school knows about Umeko trying to confess her love for Oga. They asked if it went well. She told them that she succeeded, which can only mean one thing. You're probably thinking of, why does she look like the Grudge from the horror movie? Well, as you can see, she's a bit clumsy when it comes to expressing her love, which explains the letter. However, there's one person that's really close to Umeko, which is her childhood
Says
friend,
hi.
Takano. By the way, she's a billionaire, but
Hello.
nothing too crazy. Umeko explains that she gave Oga her love letter, but he has yet to respond. This brings an idea in mind. Why don't she ask for a reply? Yes, not only will he think he's cursed, he'll also think there's a death trap. Then she has the bright idea to redo the letter, which Umeko ended up writing a lot. You know what? It's a waste to exclude some, so why not just send them all? Yeah, all they need to
don't want
do
that
is put
tangent
inside his
on.
locker. What could possibly
not
go
want those
wrong?
tangents.
Then Oga feels glad that he didn't got cursed. On the other hand, Takano is impatient for his response. You know what? Let's meet the guy. Let's meet him. I'm sure he'll understand. He finally regained consciousness as he wants to take a piss. After getting rejected by his friend, he walks through the hallway again. Now's the chance. Go, Umeko, do your thing. Oga said he didn't see anything and crawled away. The story continues this way by Umeko trying to get his phone number, which gave him a panic attack. She even dressed up for him, but he thought the ghost leveled up. He even went as far as to hide from her, but it's useless. From how the story is progressing, I cannot imagine them being a couple. From reading this manga, I didn't even see them communicate with each other, which is the thing that you need to progress a story. Is this even called romance? You know, I've read a lot of romance mangas, and none have come even close to being this one-sided. Well, except for one chapter. On that day, Oga is having a volleyball competition, so Takano suggests her to cook for Oga. One of her friends decided to help them in her...
This is the first anime female character to have the name Olga. I don't think I've ever heard of an anime character with a European name like Olga in a long time. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That's funny.
Except for one chapter.
Okay.
On that day, Oga is having a volleyball competition, so Takano suggests her to cook for Oga. One of her friends decided to help them. In her mansion, her butler is preparing the ingredients. Unfortunately, Umeko has no culinary experience, so she'll guide her. When cutting the vegetables, she menacingly, and by that, I mean accidentally cuts herself. Okay, now what on earth is she doing? I don't think you're supposed to add all the flour. Then finally on the day of the competition, they brought her meal. Maybe it's edible. The girls waited in anticipation for Oga to try out Umeko's meal. Upon consuming it, he receives a jolt of energy. Is he okay? He's not gonna faint again, is he? Maybe preparing a meal is a bad idea. But he actually really enjoyed it. Only 2 people can understand his reaction. The girls were overjoyed by their achievement. Except for one. It's the first time hearing him compliment her. And it's also the first time she smiled that brightly. You know, even though she might give off a scary impression towards him, she's trying her hardest to confess her love. Looking back, when she gave the love letter to Oga, she embarrassingly smiles because she puts up the courage to convey her message. After that, she tried her best to suck in her anxiety and confront him head on, even if it's not the best impression. When she takes the initiative to call his phone, Umeko can barely hold it together. She even went far and beyond to make an effort to dress up properly when meeting him. Sure, it might seem off-putting or weird, but imagine using your own money, taking your time in choosing the outfit, and gathering up your courage to meet him. Look, I know the author tries to convey her as creepy, but I can't help but just appreciate the amount of thought that went through her appearance. If a girl does this for me, you best believe I'm going out with her. If she doesn't want to make an effort for our relationship, then I don't want her. If you're not Umeko, I don't want her. I'm not joking when I say that. I almost teared up watching her go through all that. It makes me kind of jealous of him. There's numerous occasions where she's glad to even get a sight of him, even though it's one-sided, even though she comes off as scary, even though she may be causing him distress. Well, she didn't actually know, but regardless, when I finish reading this manga, I can definitely see them being together in the future. Then, after eating the meal made by Umeko, she thanked him for his kind words, which caused him to faint. Umeko runs away.
I'm not gonna lie, if this was a dude doing this, best believe he'll be in jail in some form down the line. In this situation. Like, I like how he's giving her so many outs on why, because it's just in the name of love, but again, if this was a dude, it would have not worked well for him. Jesus Christ.
Feeling embarrassed. Then, from that point on, she never gives up on him. During a school trip, Oga is helping his classmate to collect the vegetables dropped on the ground. Just as he was about to return, he heard a voice calling out to him. It turns out that Umeko followed him from behind. This caused him to go into panic mode when she just wants to talk to him. On the next day, she even went to a shrine with her friends in the hopes that her and Oga can finally be together. During her trip, she happily collects good luck charms. One of her friends noticed Umeko suddenly became cuter. You know, I just happened to come across this manga when I was scrolling through, looking for, another hidden gem. That's when this peculiar looking image grabbed my attention. At first, I thought it's another generic plot with a strange gimmick in order to sell this manga to me, but strangely, it did. Would I recommend you to read this? By all means, go for it. It's only a few chapters long by the time I made this video, and the plot is relatively simple to follow. This manga isn't a hidden gem. I'll probably forget about this manga in about a week or so, just like every other romance manga. But I'll never regret the time I spent reading this horror manga.
Permission to do that. you can get the gift in the tick. You can get a fan request if you gift, and the best way to get it is to look at the menu that's there. Alright, so that's pretty much this romance manga. I didn't really put a lot of emphasis or a lot of explanation on the... Oh wait, is it over? Yeah, I didn't put a lot of explanation on the video, but it's cute. I would recommend this. This sounds like it could be a bit funny. It has some moments where he explains it that seems pretty funny. So I would I would read this, or watch an anime of this with a significant other if possible. So if I was you or anyone looking for this anime, you should check it out. It's really good. As far as I hear it, it sounds really fun and it sounds funny as hell. So like, subscribe, share, follow, and comment, and I'd like to see you guys in the next one. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.